Alright, so usually I'm not one to make a video like this. The YouTube commentary community is very hit or miss nowadays because I feel like everybody gets so caught up in the bullshit that everything just becomes so repetitive and sometimes just feels like an attack more than just kind of giving the news of what's out there. Like, it's one thing to give your opinion, but once it starts becoming an attack, it's a little different. And then there's also a thing called obsession, which is when you start to focus in on one person or one thing for a long period of time, and then you just like keep beating the dead horse. And one of the people that does that is Sensitive Soci3ty. Now, before I get on with this video, I don't want anybody sending harassment to Sensitive Soci3ty. I'm just, you know, basically going through what I've seen from him and why at this point it's just one of those channels that is just so repetitive and just so annoying for the way it goes by doing things. One of the people that Sensitive Soci3ty love mentioning, love mentioning, is Idubbbz. Now, I am not going to sit here and defend Idubbbz. I understand that over the years, he's not necessarily done bad things, but he just became annoying to a point where he wasn't fun anymore and became a little too quote-unquote woke, I guess you can say. I don't like using that term, but I understand where people are coming from with being annoyed with him and not necessarily watching his content, because I, too, also don't watch his content anymore because I'm not like 13, 14 years old in high school and enjoy a guy saying nigger faggot. And it's one thing to make videos about this sporadically or something like that. Like, you know, I do a lot of, you know, music reviews on this channel and talk about music and comic book stuff, and there's times where I will, you know, release things in a certain way where I'm making more than one video about the same topic, but I kind of ease off of it a little bit because I realize I'm getting tired of it and other people are getting tired of it, and then eventually in the future maybe I'll come back to it and maybe it'll be cool again. Or not even cool again, how do I put it? It won't be as annoying when people see it. Like, I've had to do that with a bunch of musicians and artists where I would just make video after video on them. Nothing negative, it was just kind of like my top 10 songs, or, you know, going back and ranking their albums. You know, I've done that over the years, and I used to just, you know, do it so much that everybody just kind of got tired of it. Even I did too, and I kind of had to back off and be like, all right, we need to stretch out the content a little bit. We need to make things a little more interesting, and we can come back to those videos later down the line. But no, this guy, if it's not Idubbbz, then it's Idubbbz's wife. And again, I'm not defending her either. I know she's said some things and whatnot, but when are you just gonna leave these people alone? That's my question. They're not the only ones that, you know, he just kind of seems to talk about and just, I don't want to use the word harass because he's not outright going to them and doing and saying these things, but good lord, it is becoming so much of an obsession. Even got on the whole Mutahar thing where we found out he wasn't like an actual like computer technician or something like that. I don't even know what the fuss was over. And he just made multiple videos like what Mutahar did was like the end of the world and he should be cancelled and all this kind of stuff. Or not even cancelled, but, you know, I get it. His reputation's ruined, and I think he understands that now. But he's doing just fine for himself. Like, I would rather find out that, like, he is not necessarily a real computer technician than something worse than, say, maybe he was, you know, a kitty diddler or something like that. That's when I'd be like, okay, I understand why we're talking about it so much, because we need to put his name out there so that way people know to stay away from him and whatnot, or his content. But for that reason in particular, I'm just like, you know, we all do stupid things, and if we can't learn from those stupid things, then what's the point if people are just going to continue to attack us? Hi, this is me many hours later, but another thing that kind of irritates me with commentary YouTubers like him as well is the gameplay footage while they're explaining everything, discussing everything. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. What is you playing that game have to do with what you're talking about? It can really be a distraction, and it just goes to show the laziness of the person as well. It's almost like they don't want to edit their own footage of themselves, and they're just like, I'm gonna throw this video game in there and show me being shitty at video games while I'm talking about something that, you know, needs attention but yet could sway the attention away. It's like one thing if you're making the gameplay and that's what you're doing, you know, I understand that, but for commentary videos, it's like either do what I'm doing or use like background from like it's lazy and it has nothing to do with the topic at hand that you're talking about. It's just like, cool, you're playing video games while talking about this. Do you even really care about it in general, or are you just making this video because, you know, hey, it's a hot topic, I can make a quick buck, and if so, that's scummy. And this is Sensitive Society's whole thing, is mainly he would just kind of give his opinion on some things, but also be a bully with ways that he mentions things and just says, I'm not, you know, here to harass or anything, when it's clear what he's doing.
I have no talent.
It's like someone can't even apologize for their past without Sensitive Society just ripping on it. Like when Anthony Fantano was apologizing for his cringy kind of content back in the day, where he was definitely trying to, how do you call it, rage bait and clickbait, using these fake characters that might be a little controversial. And over the years, Anthony's kind of just been like, you know, I've been done with those characters because I realized it's not the way about going and doing things. And apparently to Sensitive Society, that's just so pathetic, apologizing for something like that when you don't have to. It's like, sure, he doesn't have to, but at least he gave the courtesy to do so, and now we can all just go, okay, well, you know, what's in the past is in the past. Who cares at this point? Because when it comes to me with the whole cancel culture thing, I don't really like it in general. I think that there are people that should be held accountable for stuff that's going on now, for stuff that they say or stuff that they do. But if we're trying to reach back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even like 2 or 3 years ago, that's when I kind of go, okay, hold on a second. I get it that this person may have said this back then, but that doesn't mean that they've changed. I mean, when we're younger, we all say and do stuff that, you know, we don't do or say now, and that's just because we've grown up and realized, like, oh, that's not okay, or oh, I don't think that way anymore because I've gotten more of an understanding on things. But apparently you apologize for that, and Sensitive Society is going to go after you.
So yeah, you're gay.
And also, I hope he's not, but this recent video that he put out, or at least in making this video, I might show an update if there's more videos that come out, which, trust me, with him, there will be. It looks AI. Like, this just doesn't look real, like, thumbnail to me, and I'm just beginning to hate those YouTube channels as well that use these AI thumbnails as clickbait, when it's just like, you know, if you don't have the talent to make a thumbnail, then either, you know, don't make one at all, or pay someone to make one for you, because it's just getting really, really annoying, these AI thumbnails and channels that use AI. And Sensitive Society, I'll give him this, he's not using AI himself to, you know, speak for him in the videos like most of these channels do. But if you're gonna start using AI thumbnails, yeah, I think you're gonna start losing a lot of people. And do not get me wrong, there's things on here that I agree with him on. He talked about the Charlie Kirk situation. I made a post about it, how it's terrible. You know, did I agree with things that Charlie Kirk may have said? No, obviously not, but not once would I ever wish death on someone just because we had differing opinions, especially differing political opinions. I think people that think that way are insane, and trying to blame the left and the right or whatever, just trying to blame one party in particular for the reason this happened, is not going to bring us together in these situations. But a lot of this other stuff to me just seems like the fact that he is so happy about Idubbbz' downfall and this and that and the other for stupid shit. It's just like, dude, I don't understand the whole mentality. Like, again, it'd be one thing if he was like a child predator, or you found out he was doing like P. Diddy sort of stuff. Like, I can understand that. But look, the man has changed, and yeah, most people don't like the way he's changed. Obviously, people like the old Idubbbz when he get a little controversial about things. But at the same point in time, the man just needs to be left alone. He's living his life, he's married, you know, and he's doing all this other stuff. All in all, channels like this are, what word do I want to use? Because I really don't want to use the word toxic, but to me, they're just overdone. Like, it's just a way of being able to be like, I'm not bullying someone, but technically I am, and I don't want you to bully them because that's what I'm doing. But since I'm giving my opinion, I can disguise the bullying as an opinion rather than it, you know, just me actually bullying somebody. It's ridiculous, that rhetoric, and I don't understand the whole YouTube drama thing, because there's some that I don't even really hear about most of the time, and then people are like, do you hear about this that happened? And I'm Like, no, not really, because I don't care, because it's YouTube. Why am I going to care so much about YouTube drama? Maybe when I was younger and in middle school and high school I'd give more of a shit, but I'm 27 goddamn years old. I can give a fuck what happens to this, that, and the other, who on the YouTube side is beefing, you know? And I think maybe if Sensitive Society talked more about his passions rather than this whole YouTube drama stuff, and I know what he'll say if he responds, the YouTube drama is my passion, but it's like, I'm talking about, like, you know, do you like movies, music, comic books, sports? Like, what else do you like that you can talk about, that you can give an opinion on things, or maybe talk about, like, history of stuff, or reviewing some stuff? Because I see you do have a movie review in here for the, what was it, the Snow White movie? Like, that's fine and cool and all that, but, like, everything else, it's just like, you're coming off as a bully in this situation. And although there's some people on here that definitely do deserve it, like Jack Doherty, there's others who, you know, have done not a lot to really complain about or worry too much about, and yet you have to make so much of a big deal out of it that you just continue to push these videos out and push these videos out and push these videos out until people start to realize this might be bullying a little bit. There's some sort of obsession here, and that's when it gets a little weird, because it's just like, why are you so obsessed with this YouTuber's downfall that you just continue to make video after video after video on them, when it's like, just move on to something else that isn't this, and I'm sure you'll do just fine. I'm sure your fan base will stick with you throughout, and if they don't, that's fine too. I changed my content up a bit, and there was people that left, but there's also new people that came in, and I've been doing better than ever. And again, I know he's going to look at my views and my subscribers and be like, what do you mean you've been doing better than ever? I don't get paid to do this. This is a hobby of mine. No, I don't really give a shit how many subscribers I get. If people come and like my content and they want to continue watching, they can subscribe, they can continue watching. I don't care. I don't want to, you know, be the guy that has to clickbait or, you know, talk about these certain situations or say something to get a rise out of people, because I know that's what's going to get me views and that's what's going to get me subscribers or the attention that I need. It's just not the type of creator that I am or the creator that I want to be. I want to talk about things that I like, and maybe it is things that other people like and that we can bond over, and that's what makes something like that cool and better than this, which again, it just seems so out of hand and, dare I say, not even really, I guess I can use the term stalkery, because, well, I mean, I would bet the over that this guy has made over 50 videos on Idubbbz and Anissa in the past year, which, that's a little too much, my guy. There's 365 days in the year. Like, you gotta be able to talk about something else, and also maybe even talk about something else that isn't YouTube drama. Like, think about it. Be creative. Don't be like this. And that's all I have to say about Sensitive Society and these commentary channels that are similar to him, because, you know, there's a lot of them out there, and again, I used to be one on the commentary channel term. I'm like, I watch this guy, but over the years I've kind of just looked and said, okay, but what are they actually saying? What are they actually trying to convey? Is this actually, you know, is this actually just them, you know, being neutral and talking about what's going on, or is this them actually, you know, using that kind of mask as a way to bully and abuse these people because that's just what they want to do, but they don't want to be seen as the bad guy here. it makes no sense to me whatsoever. But that's it for me. Stay safe out there, and until then, I guess I'll catch you all in the next one.